Well, I'm still nursing a hangover from that very memorable wedding feast, but nothing will stop me from taking a look at next week's preview breakdown, which sees a ton of new characters and the series' largest time jump to date. This is a spoiler-filled video, so if you don't want to know what's going on, leave the video on mute so I can still get that sweet watch time. As always, I've left a link to the trailer in the description, but please come back, I am very lonely. We open on Daemon Targaryen's dragon, Caraxes. This looks to be somewhere along the Narrow Sea, perhaps closer to Dragonstone or Driftmark, as we'll see the prince very close with Laena Velaryon. The two shared a flirty dance last episode, but 10 years have since passed and a lot has changed. Daemon is now married to Laena. Laena was betrothed to a Sea Lord of Braavos, and in the book, Daemon actually ends up killing this man in a duel and taking Laena as his wife, but considering the time jump, this is an event we'll likely not see in the show. Let's go over this new makeup of the small council. At the head, of course, we have the king, who has managed to defy death but not losing his hair. This dude really has seen better days, and I pray for Alicent he stopped those late night booty calls. The king's hand is still Sir Lionel Strong, and both Rhaenyra and Alicent have spots at the table, something that's not in the book. They even have their own marble balls, Rhaenyra's black and Alicent's green. We'll see those two colors come up a lot. We have a new Grand Maester, Orwyle, who we saw briefly last episode and has taken over Grand Maester Meleys' job after his passing. It's difficult to make out, but it seems Tywin Lannister is still Master of Ships and Lyman Beesbury Master of Coin. But who is this to the right of Rhaenyra? If we go by the book and use process of elimination, it would have to be Sir Jasper Wilde, the new Master of Laws. However, we do know the show can vary wildly from the book. Daemon has apparently left the Stepstones undefended. It's still a volatile region, with Triarchy forces often attempting to take back land claimed by Daemon during the War for the Stepstones. Alicent and Rhaenyra also still seem to hate each other's guts. You can see her wearing green here, which Lara said is the Hightower color for going to war. I wonder if Alicent has confronted Rhaenyra about her hookup with Sir Criston, or if she's let that fester for all these years. In voiceover, we hear Lara Strong proclaim, "What are children but a weakness?" as we get our first look at Aemond Targaryen, Alicent and Viserys' third child. Now, I made this family tree before the season started, and now that we're getting to see more of these characters, I'll start to update some of these photos, so bear with me. Aemond stumbles upon a dragon who may be either Dreamfire or Vermithor. Perhaps we're somewhere in the depths of the Dragon Pit, as Aemond will have grown up in King's Landing. In one of the other trailers, we see Aemond on a beach claiming Vhagar, but it's unclear whether that will be in this episode or down the line. Currently, Vhagar is ridden by Laena. However, during the birth of her third child, who comes out twisted and malformed and dies within the hour, she contracts a fever and dies. In the first trailer, we see a funeral at Driftmark. I wonder if this is for either Laena or Laenor. Notably absent in this trailer is Laenor. In the book, he's murdered in Spicetown, so it'll be interesting if the show starts with him already dead, or if we'll see this play out. Daemon and Laena have twin daughters, Baela and Rhaena, one of whom we see here. In the courtyard, a teenage Aegon II, Viserys and Alicent's eldest son, knocks down one of Rhaenyra's kids, likely Jacaerys, her eldest. Just like Alicent and Rhaenyra hate each other, so do their children hate each other. It leads to a bitter rivalry which the king just laughs off. Notice how even the children wear green and black tunics. Overseeing this sparring match is Sir Harwin Strong, who is believed to be the real father of Rhaenyra's 3 children. This is due in large part to Rhaenyra's kids not having the trademark silver hair. There are some other features, but I won't go into too much detail. Harwin's gotta know this kid is his, but he can't really step in and do anything about it, which is an interesting dynamic. And what the heck is this weird chair the king is in? Notice he's not standing. Perhaps his illness is making it difficult for him to stand for long periods of time. Here's a heated egg. I wonder if this is in preparation for Laena's child. Remember in episode 2 that Daemon stole an egg from the Dragon Pit to put in the crib for Mysaria's non-existent child. We'll later see either Baela or Rhaena hold an egg near the fire. This is a much better shot of Aegon II with Alicent's voiceover saying that he will be king. At this time, Rhaenyra is still set to be heir, but it looks as though the queen has committed to doing whatever it takes to get Rhaenyra off that throne. A quick shot of Laena and Daemon will later see the two riding their dragons side by side, and just take a look how absolutely massive Vhagar is here, currently the oldest and largest living dragon. I've heard some people say this dragon is Sunfire, but the fact we later see him being commanded by Jacaerys leads me to believe it's Vermax who he'll eventually ride. Here's Jacaerys and Rhaenyra holding a baby. In the book, there's only a 3-year age difference between Rhaenyra's eldest and youngest from her first marriage. It's my guess that this baby is her third child, Joffrey, named after Laenor insisted the child be named after his former lover, Joffrey Lonmouth. Here we see a concerned Lionel and some intrigue around a father being concerned about the acts of the son. Considering we see Harwin here, it's implied that this is referring to Rhaenyra's children being his. And here's old Viserys sitting down once again, giving me the same look my grandpa did when I tried to explain what twerking was. Here we have Harwin going to town on Sir Criston Cole, with Aegon, Aemond, Jacaerys, and Lucerys watching in the background. With Harwin firmly on Team Rhaenyra and Criston Team Alicent, something has obviously pissed Harwin off. Maybe Criston made a snide comment about Rhaenyra or Harwin being the father of her children. In the book, there is mention of a brawl occurring after Aemond calls Rhaenyra's sons Strongs. The result of this brawl is Harwin being removed as Princess Rhaenyra's champion by King Viserys. Maybe this scene is some sort of adaptation of that, and Criston would obviously be protecting Aemond. And here's Viserys in front of that damned model city as Alicent tells her husband to have 3 children look nothing like their father. It's an insult. It seems the main drive of this episode will be centered around this rumor that Rhaenyra has been sleeping around with Harwin and that her children are his. There are 3 random shots that don't give away too much, like Rhaenyra holding Joffrey, Alicent having a drink after a long day of trying to destroy her former bestie, and Loras, who you gotta keep your eyes on. He's always up to no good. Here's a shot of someone who kinda looks like Lionel, but this dude's got some hair up top. It's not looking good for him, and on the top right we see some guards approaching. Looks like this guy might be getting something chopped off, and in Game of Thrones, that's never a good thing. Here we see the aftermath of some sort of fire or explosion. There's a dead body being carried on a stretcher, and behind them someone with a bucket of water rushing past. For those of you who have read the book, there is one particularly famous fire that occurs at Harrenhal, in which both Lionel Strong and Harwin are burned alive. Perhaps this is that event, and there is a brief image from one of the previous trailers that shows someone, possibly Harwin, burning in this fire. Jacaerys takes after his mother, saying the word Dracarys, ordering his dragon to roast some goat. There seems to be no shortage of fire this episode, and a lot to look forward to, including our first taste of Olivia Cook and Emma Darcy as Alicent and Rhaenyra. If you want more Game of Thrones content, be sure to check out my full episode breakdowns. I'll leave links to those in the description.